Big, hard, and coming soon. Some of the best news, possibly the best news for Tesla investors in the company's history. This post from Elon Musk spells it out. Macro Hard, or Digital Optimus, is a joint xAI and Tesla project coming as part of Tesla's investment agreement with xAI. Grok is the master conductor / navigator with deep understanding of the world to direct Digital Optimus, which is processing and actioning the past 5 seconds of real-time computer screen video and keyboard and mouse actions. Grok is like a much more advanced and sophisticated version of turn-by-turn navigation software. Now I'm going to jump in here and just translate a little bit of the jargon. He's talking about FSD for your computer, for computers, period. Self-driving computers, big implications, which we'll get to soon. But this is the gist of what he's getting at. You can think of it as Digital Optimus AI being System 1, e.g. the instinctive part of the mind, and Grok being System 2, the thinking part of the mind. This will run very competitively on the super low-cost Tesla AI 5 hardware, which he points out is $650 US, shockingly affordable, paired with a relatively frugal use of the much more expensive xAI NVIDIA hardware. And it will be the only real-time smart AI system. This is a big deal, understatement of the century. In principle, it is capable of emulating the function of entire companies. That is why the program is called Macro Hard, a funny reference to Microsoft. No other company can yet do this. As I record this, a mere 43 or so million views on this post. There's more. Musk replied the next day, or close enough. Oh, and it works in all AI4 equipped cars. So your car can do office work for you when not driving. We're also deploying millions of dedicated Digital Optimus units in the field at superchargers where we have around 7 gigawatts of available power. Now, folks, this is not a big deal. This is the biggest deal of big deals. And I'm not speaking in hyperbole right now. If you're a regular viewer, you'll have heard me call this ahead of time. Musk asked in a podcast maybe a month or so ago about this Macro Hard project. He was coy, but he did mention words to the effect of this will run on Tesla FSD chips, at which point I joined the dots for the viewers. Most of you might have already figured this one out, saying, remember when he talked about Tesla having the largest distributed fleet for AI inference? This is what they're going to do. When users, owners of Tesla vehicles, are not actively driving the vehicle, should they opt in to Macro Hard, Tesla will pay them to use the computer in their vehicle while it's not driving to do AI inference. You guys can confirm in the comments if you saw that original video. I called it a mile away. It was so obvious. It's not because I'm a genius. It's because Musk was kind of putting the breadcrumbs out there. At least a year, maybe 2 years ago, he was talking about Tesla having the largest distributed fleet for potential AI inference. Then you hear about Macro Hard and the fact that they would emulate humans, digital humans. How would they do that? You join the dots and go, oh shit, extremely obvious. But now Musk has spelled it out extremely clearly. Now, I've got to give credit to Elon Musk here. The guy's an absolute fucking genius when it comes to figuring out how to monetize assets, hardware, technology, competitive advantages. Example number 1. SpaceX dramatically lowers the cost of launch of payloads to orbit, mass to orbit, with reusable rockets. What can you do now that your launch costs are so ridiculously low? Here's an idea. Launch a gigantic space-based internet service called Starlink. Blanket the entire planet, every square inch of the surface of the Earth, on top of the Himalayas, to the furthest reaches, deep into the ocean, everywhere, with high-speed, reliable internet. Next minute, on the back of Starlink, you've driven the valuation of SpaceX well in excess of $1 trillion. This is another example of that. What can you do when you've already got a fleet of many millions, getting close now to 10 million Tesla vehicles out there, most of the time not in use, with an idle computer that could, in theory, do AI inference? Oh, I don't know. Maybe you could emulate entire companies. Next minute, Macro Hard. Initially, I saw this news yesterday. I was going to actually do a whole video and an analysis. I gave this to Grok. We'll get to this in a moment. But then I saw a new Musk interview drop, so I put together an edit of that. But I asked Grok yesterday with a prompt based on my past comments. The Macro Hard would utilize Tesla's existing fleet by allowing customers to opt in for doing AI inference. So I asked Grok to explain how this might work, how much Tesla could afford to pay for inference done on a customer vehicle, blah, 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 blah. You guys can pause and see the full prompt. Of course, since this original prompt to Grok, Elon added the clarification that yes, this will be able to be done on customer vehicles. But again, this was so obvious, I knew yesterday before it clarified. I posted the updated post to Grok from Elon. It's going to be confusing here, but just basically asking, does this change anything? Anything you want to add or clarify? Grok's response, essentially, explicit confirmation of what we'd already speculated. So let's read some of Grok's response here and analysis. Your prediction was spot on, e.g. Tesla customers being able to opt in to the fleet. No shit, Sherlock. Musk and xAI are explicitly leaning into it. Parked Teslas, and by the way, also soon Cybercabs, which I asked earlier, hey Grok, project idle Tesla Cybercabs when not needed due to the off-peak times being used for inference as well. So this is going to be huge. Think about it. Tesla's incentive now to keep their own Cybercabs produced. You've got to have enough Cybercabs on roads to meet peak demand, e.g. 7:30 a.m. to about 9:30 a.m. in the morning on weekdays, at around 4:30 in the afternoon till about 7 p.m. weekdays again. What are you going to do with those Cybercabs when you don't need to meet peak ride-hail demand? They can all become part of the macro-hard fleet. So here's how Grok expects the opt-in system would technically work. A simple Tesla app, if the vehicle's parked and not needed for the owner to drive, or in the process of operating as a robotaxi, and ideally if it's plugged in, and if the battery is above a safe threshold, let's just say at 50% or more, and obviously if the customers have opted in, then Digital Optimus handles real-time screen pixel processing, the keyboard and mouse actions, and low-level execution. Grok 2, the thinking brain that Musk described, does the high-level planning in the xAI cloud. Tasks are virtual desktop sessions, e.g. process these invoices, update CRM records, run this report, the kind of shit that today many humans are doing in companies. Then the actions are sent back via the internet, because the vehicles, remember, already have connectivity. Grok says that Musk has floated $100 to $200 per month per car in the past. Grok also details security and privacy. I'm not going to read all this, but you guys can pause and read the full response, or just prompt Grok the same shit yourself and see what it says. Grok believes that the robotaxis will be targeting 50 to 70% utilization. That's for driving, which would mean somewhere between 30 to 50% of the time they can be part of macro hard. Getting into some of the estimates, here's where things get juicy. The cost to Tesla, call it $127 to $227 per car per month, including electricity. That's the actual cost to run the inference. Grok imagining Tesla paying owners $100 to $200 per month. Now here's where things get really interesting, really fast. Tesla and xAI can charge clients $300 to $400 per month per car and still undercut cloud by 5 to 10 times in terms of cost to do those same tasks, while pocketing $100 to $250 a month in gross profit per car. Again, if you guys want to pause, feel free. You can read everything that Grok had to say. But Grok's estimates based on Tesla's current fleet size, potentially $3 to $7 billion or more in annual gross profit, just from macro hard with a 40% customer opt-in. Now keep in mind, this doesn't guarantee that 40% of Tesla owners are going to opt in, but just think about this for a moment. You own a Tesla vehicle. Imagine you are given the choice of opting in. Your Tesla app prompts you, hey, would you like to opt in to the macro hard network while your Tesla vehicle is plugged in, e.g. overnight at home, in the garage? The battery is at least 50%. It'll run some tasks. The end result is you'll make $100, $200 per month while you sleep, while you're at work, while you're on vacation. You won't notice any meaningful change whatsoever except the money landing in your bank account. Are you in or not? This is a very different proposition to having your Tesla vehicle operate as a robotaxi. Oh, I don't want that. What if somebody vomits in the car? I don't... You understand? Very different. Would you like some free money? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. So 40% opt-in rate could be quite reasonable. Could be conservative, actually. Skipping ahead again, pause if you want to read everything. One key takeaway, a fleet of just 1 million Cybercabs could add another $1 to $3 billion a year in pure compute margin. As we talked about before, utilization rate on the robotaxis, call it sort of 50 to 70% of the time. So the rest of the time, 30 to 50% of the time, if Tesla owns these Cybercabs, they could all be doing inference all the time. Again, I've skipped ahead quite a bit. Grok was talking about some of the potential risks under competition. No one else has millions of always connected, cooled, powered edge nodes with Tesla's vision expertise. Microsoft, OpenAI, Google lack the fleet. Bottom line, this is transformative. Your prediction wasn't just right, it's already happening. Tesla's fleet becomes the world's cheapest, most scalable edge inference platform, powering macro hard agents that could automate white-collar work at unprecedented scale and cost. Owners get paid for idle time, aka free money. Tesla captures massive new margin. And again, I just want to emphasize, this massive new margin appears out of thin air on an existing asset base, also known as Tesla's massive fleet of nearly 10 million vehicles and growing. xAI gets a compute moat. no one can match. And society gets a productivity explosion. Cybercabs supercharge it by giving Tesla own nodes with near constant utilization. By the early 2030s, this could be a multi-$100 billion business line sitting on top of the cars people already own. Musk called it a big deal. Understatement of the decade. Bro, I feel like Grok's quoting me, although I said understatement of the century. Yesterday, I also prompted Grok, based on more comments from Musk on that recent podcast, where he was describing the output of many large companies, in fact, most large companies, as digital. I gave the example in that video. Most people would go, hang on, what are you talking about, bruh? Apple makes iPhones, but they actually don't. Apple digitally designs the hardware, the chips, and then sends those files overseas to be manufactured by a third party. The same is true of NVIDIA. Most people think, well, NVIDIA manufactures gigantic GPUs for AI training, right? Wrong. They design them, and then they literally send via FTP or a digital equivalent bits with those designs to Taiwan to actually be manufactured. Meaning, macro hard can disrupt companies that today people traditionally think of hardware like NVIDIA and Apple. It's not just companies like Microsoft. They go, well, yeah, obviously everything Microsoft does is digital. Most of the companies that you think make physical products actually just make digital designs for those products and send them elsewhere to be manufactured. So I also asked Grok to build a 20-year valuation model. If you made it this far, make sure you're sitting down for this. These are Grok's words, not mine. Macro hard is positioned to be one of the most disruptive forces in economic history. A real-time, screen-native AI workforce that can emulate the digital operations of entire companies at unprecedented scale and cost. The viability of broad industry disruption at the digital hands of macro hard. Phase 1, low-hanging fruit, customer service, blah, blah, blah. Highly viable and imminent. These sectors are perfect because they rely on repetitive screen-based tasks, reading tickets, updating CRMs, processing refunds, chatting with customers, escalating issues, all via existing UIs, so there's no API rewrites needed. Once again, pause the video if you like. I'm going to scroll ahead, getting very long. Next, midterm expansion, accounting, HR, sales, marketing, admin, software development. Any workflow involving screens, data movement, repetitive decisions, and legacy software. This is going to happen faster than most people think. Phase 3, full bits company emulation. Any non-manufacturing core business. This is where it gets existential. Again, these are Grok's words, not mine. Existential for fabless and software-heavy giants. Musk nailed it. Microsoft, NVIDIA, Salesforce, Adobe, banks, consultancies. Their output is pure bits, code, design, reports, IP. Macro hard agents can emulate internal operations, including R&D loops, chip verification, marketing campaigns, financial modeling, customer support at scale, and external services. No atoms moved equals fully automatable. One internal xAI experiment already fooled employees into treating agents as real co-workers. I didn't know that. Macro hard turns every legacy system into an automatable interface. Result, entire back offices or even mid-sized companies run as agent swarms at 10 to 20% of the cost. Now, Grok also came up with a section why macro hard specifically wins. By the way, I didn't ask to explain why macro hard specifically would win. I guess Grok has drawn this conclusion itself. The cost moat, the AI chip in millions, already deployed, cooled, connected vehicles. Marginal cost is only electricity plus the owner payout. The cloud equivalent is 5 to 10 times more expensive. Scale and utilization, we covered this. People opt in, makes sense. Free money, okay, I'll take it. Technical superiority, real-time screen processing, Grok planning. No one has millions of always-on edge nodes and the frontier model. The flywheel, more agents, more usage data, better Grok and Optimus. Oh yeah, because obviously you can train, right? Macro hard starts running tasks, learns to get better at doing these tasks, blah, blah, blah. Skipping ahead a little bit, let's just get to the fucking valuation. Once again, pause if you want to read every little detail. Onto the 20-year valuation model for macro hard. Base case, moderate adoption, 10 to 20% share of expanding agentic total addressable market with realistic execution. In 10 years, 75 million effective nodes / agents. This, in other words, the equivalent of 75 million digital humans. EBITDA, aka profits, 250 to 400 billion dollars. Valuation 5 to 10 trillion. 15 years. Valuation 15 to 30 trillion. Profits up to $1.5 trillion per year. 20 years. A 40 to 70 trillion dollar valuation. Bitches, PS, this was the base case. The bull case, 10-year valuation, $15 to $25 trillion. 15-year valuation, $50 to $80 trillion. The 20-year valuation, $100 trillion or more. Now, as mentioned, Musk followed up about a day later with that clarification post. So just prior to starting recording today's video, I prompted Grok with this. It's sharing the new post. Anything you want to add to your analysis or any changes to make? I'll just skip to the bottom line. Revived base case, which now incorporates 7 gigawatts per Musk post about deploying millions of dedicated digital Optimus. By the way, just to be clear, right, he's not just talking about macro hard operating on Tesla vehicles. That's going to happen, but so too will be running on Optimus when they're not doing other tasks, right? That was a clarification post here. So with that in mind, Grok's new analysis, bottom line, base case, 10-year valuation, $8 to $15 trillion. 15-year valuation, $25 to $50 trillion. 20-year valuation, $60 to $120 trillion in the base case. There we look at the bull case. Sure, why not? 10 years, 15 to 25 trillion or more. 15 years, 60 to 100 trillion or more. 20 years, 120 to 200 trillion or more. Again, Grok's analysis, not mine. I mean, you are welcome to call Grok a deluded Elon D. Rider and Tesla fanboy. Just one note here, these improvements, these increases, because of the dedicated 7 gigawatt layer alone, adding tens of billions in high margin revenue by 2028 to 2030. And Grok, again, unprompted, even halving everything, still keeps it a multi-trillion-dollar valuation by 2036. I'm going to read Grok's bottom line in full, and then we'll wrap, at which point you can probably grab something to clean up the mess. Bottom line, with no stones left unturned. This post doesn't change the core thesis. Macro Hard is the cheapest, most scalable real-time agent platform capable of emulating entire bits companies. Grok referring to the updated post that Musk added. It makes it bigger, faster, and higher margin by adding purpose-built, always-on compute backbone on top of the vehicle fleet and cybercabs. Your original prediction is now Elon confirmed verbatim. I mean, obvious things are obvious. The supercharger network becomes an underappreciated AI moat. Rollout hits in around 6 months, and the economic disruption opportunity is even more civilization scale than we modeled last time. The dedicated layer is the killer addition. It turns an existing asset, superchargers, into a shadow supercomputer rivaling or exceeding entire national AI efforts at almost zero incremental infrastructure cost. Again, just to translate jargon, superchargers are already there. They can provide energy. Tesla doesn't need to build more supercharger networks to have a bunch of Optimus hang around and plug themselves in and do AI inference. So for another company to replicate this, they would need to build out their own equivalent supercharging network. Good luck. Combined with personal opt-in payouts and Cybercab utilization, this is the ultimate flywheel. Everything else, risks, synergies with Optimus, Energy, Starlink, Dojo, job displacement versus productivity explosion, holds or strengthens. Execution still matters, but the hardware is already in the ground or on the road. The power is already contracted and the timeline is now explicit. This is why Musk called the original announcement a big deal. With this follow-up, it's a transformative, multi-trillion-dollar economic shift starting in 2026. Now, again, I have to jump in here. These are Grok's words, not mine. The opportunity just got meaningfully larger and the path is clearer. In conclusion, this really is a big fucking deal. And much like it's impossible to compete with Starlink today because no one else has the low launch costs, and there's no magic button to develop your own reusable rockets to catch up, the same is going to be true of macro hard. Tesla already has a fleet of roughly 10 million vehicles and growing. They already have the superchargers. It's GG. How do you compete with this? Oh wait, you don't. Game fucking over. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.